Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to take a look in the Soulforge and tell you what I think is worth crafting in there, what's worth crafting, and what you should maybe avoid. Anyway, what's the difference between a dirty bus stop and a lobster with breast implants? One is a crusty bus station, and the other is a busty crustacean. Oh yes. Right, let's take a look at this weekly glory troop. She is Rook. I think it sounds alright, as if there's one little thing I wish was slightly different on this. Let's take a look at her traits first. She is immune to frozen, cannot be targeted by spells, and has mana shield, which is immunity to mana burn, mana drain, and mana steal. So a pretty decent set of traits overall. But her spell, I think, is actually quite decent. Deal magic +2 true damage to an enemy and curse them. The enemy uses purple mana, deal double damage. So against a purple team with mainly purple enemies, she can be really, really effective. I'm torn between 6 and 7 out of 10 for her, but I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and say she can be really effective against purple enemies and say 7 out of 10 for Rook. As ever, I'd grab these all the way up to a mythic level if you can. You're going to get a load more resources at the same time, and obviously pick up that troop, which you can then ascend to mythic if you have the required resources, and then get to power level 20, which is going to aid your power level kingdoms. So yep, very good indeed. What's this? Nature's Wrath. Deal splash damage to an enemy, and if the enemy is entangled, deal 5 more damage. Yeah, nothing special, collectible, not sure it's worth nearly 4 quid. So I'll abandon that one with abandon, whatever doing that is. Right, let's take a look in the Soulforge. Let's take a look at the weapons first. First up is Chalice of the Peaks. Remove all blue gems, deal magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by the gems removed. And if the enemy is from Glacial Peaks, or if the battle is in Glacial Peaks, deal double damage. So this is the one I kind of say is the anti-Glacial Peaks weapon, if you like. They seem weird because they remove all blue gems, but the blue gems, and this is with no effect by the way when they're removed, is the colour which Glacial Peaks troops like the best, so you're actually restricting the mana colour they would ordinarily favour. These, you know, a lot of people don't like these weapons, but if you're a newer player and you want to do explore in this kingdom, for example, then this can really, really help you out because you're going to get that double damage. So yeah, not entirely useless, but quite situational. Silent Knight deals damage to the last enemy and silences them. Yeah, another collectible little weapon there. What else we got? Frost Staff. Deal damage to an enemy, deal double damage if there's an ice storm, and create an ice storm. An ice storm is blue, so you're not going to get that double damage on the first cast, not unless you've already got an ice storm running, but you should if you manage to cast it quickly again while that ice storm is running. So not too bad, but again, a lot of these lower level ones are generally collectible, but they're still worth picking up a lot of the time because a lot of kingdom progression is based on having X amount of weapons from a certain kingdom fully leveled up. So it is worth picking these cheaper weapons up when they're there sometimes. Glacial Crystal deals magic based damage to an enemy boosted by Glacial Peak allies, then create a mix of 6 blue and purple gems for each Glacial Peak ally. So this uses yellow and green, so will not self-charge when you cast this, but as long as you've got a couple of your allies that use blue or purple, or a combination of both, all good, then you'll generate a lot of mana for your team. So these can certainly be good in that way. Doomed Statue. Not one of my favourite types of doomed weapons, the ones that give life, but they are good in other ways. I'll just explain that in a second. Gives magic +1 life to all allies, +2 per tempering level. Then give 5 mana to all other allies, and if the enemy has a doom, give 4 more. Give 2 magic to all allies for each yellow enemy. So again, I do prefer the damaging doom weapons, but these still can come into their own, these life ones, especially if you've got someone else on your team that does damage boosted by life and things like that. So certainly good in that way, and that give 5 mana to all other allies can be really effective, especially if the enemy has a doom. So far from essential, but still not bad in the right situation. Arboreal Crystal. Now we're talking about a very nice weapon indeed. Explode magic +1 green gems. Grant a random status effect to all elemental allies and summon a elemental. Now the reason this is so good is not just because of the fact that it explodes green gems, which generates mana and has that summon. You get an awful lot of these weapons that do the same thing. But this is one of the ones with a better set of upgrades. This has tangling in it. This entangles the first troop whenever you cast it. That is absolutely superb. It also has Leaf, which is Leaf Storm, which is green. So when you cast this, you're normally going to be looking for green gems for your team. And you can generate a load of mana for them by having that Leaf Storm. And because it's elemental, it just works so well in so many teams. Elementals are some of the most powerful troops in the game right now. Tons of really good elementals, and you can obviously generate mana for them. Yeah, really good. Absolutely love this weapon. And you can run it obviously in Elementalist class, which is the best class anyway. And yeah, it's just all good. Just get it. If you haven't got it already, get Arboreal Crystal. It is superb. Ice Sapphire. Explode magic +1 blue gems. Grant a random status effect to all Glacial Peak allies and summon a Glacial Peaks troop. See, this is what I was just saying. This is a similar weapon. It still explodes gems. It still has the summon, but it's not as good. It is just simply not as good. It has got frozen, so you can freeze summon when you cast it and will generate an ice storm, which is blue. But I'd rather have the tangle most of the time. There are times when you will want the freeze, but elemental troops are generally better than the Glacial Peaks troops, and you know, things like the fact that this is elemental. You can run it in Elementalist class, get all the benefits from that awesome third trait where you use burn, stun, freeze, entangle a random enemy on a 4-match. It's so good, just get it. Any others? No, that is it. So yes, Arboreal Crystal is absolutely fantastic if you don't already have it. Love that weapon. Right, let's take a look at the troops. We'll start from the mythics at the bottom and work our way up. Equaria. Deals magic-based splash damage to 3 random enemies, but boosted by submerged allies. It's okay. It's a shame that third trait isn't something better. Other troops similar to this, like Aquaticus, have a really good third trait, like submerge all allies on a 4-match, things like that. This is a bit of a rubbish third trait compared, so nothing special. Flame and Oni is very good indeed. Summons 3 random goblins. If there's anything more annoying than goblins in the first place, it's something which summons a whole new team of them, basically. Crazy. Then explode magic +1 green gems and gain an extra turn. So really good on a goblin team. It's like but people will target it straight away if they can, because they know that there's no point taking out the other ones, and you know, if they're going to get a load more, come back into the fray. So but yeah, a brilliant troop. Also good for burning as well. Converts 2 red gems to burning gems when my turn begins. Love Flaming Oni. He's absolutely superb. Speaking of love, Phoenicia is absolutely awesome as well. Deals magic +1 damage to all enemies, boosted by red gems and burning enemies. And if there's a firestorm, deal a double damage. Now you can force a firestorm in a couple of ways. You can run Sunspear class, where if you have the traits, you'll be getting a firestorm, which is red every single turn. And you can even use this without Sunspear class by using a troop like Magma Dragon, which has a firestorm as part of its traits as well, its upgrades. So really, really cool. Phoenicia, absolutely superb. The reason why she's so good and so popular is because you can use her in explore levels and get that double damage to all enemies so easy. Charge her up using a Mirage Queen, Magma Dragon kind of type team, and just do tons of damage and get lots of resources if you need to farm certain resources. She's really good, absolutely essential for me, especially if you're a newer player. And Yasmine's Chosen is the last one. She's not too bad, it doesn't sound much. Deal scatter damage boosted by entangled enemies, but it is at a ×10 ratio. Then create 10 green gems. She uses green so can self-charge and repeat the process. And entangle a random enemy when matching green is very, very good indeed as well, especially versus those annoying skull bashy teams. So yeah, pretty good set of mythics this week, to be honest. And let's have a quick look at the legendaries. Quick gander over these. Despond deals damage to an enemy equal to their attack, then deals the same damage to all enemies above them, and as a summon as well. It will summon an object of Despond. So you cast this on the troop lower down as you can to get the most damage out of that. Not too bad at all. King Avalon is almost an essential legendary. Don't usually say to craft legendaries, but this guy, if you don't have it, is really, really good. First of all, it gives all elf allies a 50% start with mana, which is really, really good. Think of how many good elves there are in a game, like Arachnian Weaver, Secret Darkwood, things like that. Really, really cool. Immune to mana drain, silence, fairy fire, and entangle is really good as well. And the spell's pretty decent and all. Deal damage to all enemies boosted by elf, elemental, and beast allies, and has a summon at the same time. So not quite as essential as a Yao Guai kind of legendary, but pretty flipping close, I'll tell you. Lust. Charm an enemy. Charm does damage to the enemies either side, and then there's a 40% chance to transform them into a succubus or incubus. And also that really annoying third trait, charm a random enemy when an ally dies. It's like you can actually kill your own team when she's on the other side. It's kind of funny, but yeah, not funny when it actually happens to you, I suppose. Orion deals a random amount of damage to an enemy and hunters marks them and gains 5 magic. 75% chance to ignore armor with skull damage is the best of the traits, but yeah, nothing too fantastic. There's one more somewhere, is there? Have I done them all? 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, that was it. 4, so that is it. Right, so who gets my Mythic of the Week? Can't be you, Yasmine. Sorry, not good enough. And Equaria, same goes for you. It's definitely between Flaming Oni, who I really, really like, and Phoenicia, but just for her pure flexibility and the fact that she's really good for just so many players, new players, and experienced players who want to just do, you know, explore level 9s or 10s, something like that, whatever they can manage. But yeah, she's really good for doing explores of all levels. Just try her out, get her, see what damage you can do in explores, and you can farm resources way faster than what you could with many, many other troops. So Phoenicia is my Mythic of the Week. Really, really good. Absolutely love her. There's a video. I'll be back later on with my world event team, so check that out if you fancy it. But thanks for watching this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.